Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Donna and I'm the Creole Crafter. And yes, it's a decoupage party today. And it's with yours truly and Melinda over at IB Dog. And we each have 5 decoupage decor pieces for you today. So when you're done with this video, go on over to Melinda's channel and show her some love. And I'm more than sure she has beautiful DIY projects for you today. And tell her I said hello. DIY number 1. Here are the supplies that you'll need for this DIY. You'll need some Mod Podge, and you'll find that at Dollar Tree. You also need some tissue paper or gift wrapping paper. You can find that at Dollar Tree. And some type of glass vase. And I've had that one for a while. I can't remember where I got it from, y'all. Probably Dollar Tree. So the first thing we need to do is take our tissue and cut it down to size to fit around your vase or whatever vessel that you're using. You're going to decoupage and you want to take the Mod Podge. And remember, guys, you only want to put the Mod Podge where you want your tissue paper to stick. So remember, wherever you put the Mod Podge, that paper will stick to it. So right here, this vase has little creases in it, I want to say. So I'm only putting the Mod Podge in between the creases and like around the edges where I want the paper to stick to. And I'll do that to the whole entire vase. Just go around and put the Mod Podge, and I'm going to barely touch it, I mean softly touch it, to make sure that the paper is adhered to the vase. And you can see right here, I'm going in between the creases with my finger and lightly touching it, lightly pressing down on the paper. Okay, now I let the Mod Podge dry completely on the paper, and what we're going to do next is we're going to take, I'm going to use my fingernail file, and you can use a piece of sandpaper, a light grit sandpaper, and sand it all down, sand the excess from around the paper. And be sure and get into the creases. If you have a vase that has creases, yeah, make sure you sand it down lightly in a downward motion. And I didn't do the top for it because I thought, that I'd rather not do the top, just leave the top clear like it is. And DIY number 2. And you need the same supplies for DIY number 2, some tissue paper or gift paper. And I decided to add a longer vase with the vase that I already had. And I got both of those vases from Dollar Tree. The only difference with this one is I'm not going to leave my paper whole because the vase is larger. I'm working with more space and it's more a smoother, the vase is rounded and it's smooth. It doesn't have any ridges or edges or anything like the first one did, or so to say. But I'm ripping my paper into small pieces so I can work better with that at putting it onto the vase. And we're going to do the same motion for this. We're going to take our Mod Podge and we're going to put it only where we want our paper to stick. And right with this vase here, right at the bottom, there's like a curve in the bottom of it. So if you have a vase like this, you want to be careful with the bottom of it, with that little dip curve in the bottom of it. You want to take your time and be very, very, very careful with that so you don't get a lot of air bubbles or wrinkles in it. And I didn't get any wrinkles in this. And what I did was I just took my finger and barely touched it and mashed down on it right in that little dip. And as you can see right there, I'm bad. It looks like I'm kind of rough, but I'm not. I'm being very, very delicate with it. And right here, I did the whole entire vase and it's completely dry. And I didn't put a top coat on this one, but I did put a top coat on the first DIY. And what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to take the cylinder vase and I want to glue it to the bottom of the vase that I decoupage. And what I'm going to do is use some hot glue and some of that crazy glue adhesive, fix all adhesive from Dollar Tree. Yes, you can find that at Dollar Tree. And I am doing things a little different in this video. Usually I'll do a final reveal after each DIY project. But in this particular video, you'll see everything finished and done in the final reveal. And I think this came out so beautiful. And now, guys, leave me a comment and let me know what you think of these DIY projects. Leave me a comment. Okay, DIY number 3. Here are the supplies that you need. Excuse me, you need some Mod Podge. And I have one sunflower that I pulled off a bush from Dollar Tree. And I have this cow that I also saved from one of my other DIY projects in another video that I did. And I have some more tissue paper. This time I have the black and white polka dot. And I also have a chopping board. And I got that from Dollar Tree, I think last year in the fall time. And I also have some of that black and white gingham ribbon from Dollar Tree. And some polka dot burlap ribbon also from Dollar Tree with the black polka dots on it. And I also have some parchment paper from Dollar Tree. Yes. Now the first thing you need to do is apply your Mod Podge to your chopping board. You again apply it only to where you want your paper to stick. And I'm going to apply it to the whole entire board, and I'll let that coat dry completely because I wanted to come back with the parchment paper and use the iron to reactivate the Mod Podge. But I was watching a movie, y'all, and I was so into the movie, and you'll see in a minute, I don't even use the parchment paper. I mean, I just go straight with the iron and all into the movie. And it's a movie that I've seen maybe 50 million times already, but it's one of my favorite movies. And I completely forgot about using the parchment paper. But thank God it didn't burn. And it worked out pretty good. In the end, it came out pretty good. And I'm just making sure that I have enough Mod Podge. So while that is drying right here, I'm just taking my ribbon and I'm going to make the bow. Because we're going to be placing a bow at the top of the chopping board. And all I did was made a few awareness bows. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stack them on top of each other using some hot glue, because if you've been with me for a while, you know I am not a bow maker. I am totally not good at making bows, but I do the best that I can whenever I do decide that I want to put a bow on any of my projects. At least I do try. So all I did was made the awareness bow and cinched it in the middle and tied it together with some jute twine. And I'm going to make 2 like that out of the polka dot burlap ribbon. and 2 out of the black and white gingham ribbon, and I'm gonna just hot glue them together to make it look like one bow. So the bow is done, and we're gonna set that aside, and we're gonna go back to our chopping board, and we're gonna add our hanger before we add our bow. So the bow won't be in the way of adding the hanger, because I've made that mistake so many times in the past. I always wait till the last to put the bow, to put the hanger, or either to put a hanger on the back or a salto, whatever I'm using, and it becomes kind of awkward like that. So that's why I'm doing that now. So just as we did it with the other projects, we're gonna put our tissue paper on top of the Mod Podge. And right here, see, I didn't even grab the parchment paper because I was so into the movie. And what that does is you put the parchment paper on top of it, and that heat from that iron reactivates the Mod Podge, so you have less bubbles and less wrinkles, or you may not have any bubbles or any wrinkles. And this is a good method to try. I love this method. I really, really do. But it just so happens that I forgot about the parchment paper. I'm so sorry. But you'll get to see me do that later in one of the other projects in this video. I mean, I'm just ironing away, ain't got no parchment paper on there. And then when I realized, like, oh my God, I'm so glad it didn't burn it, But it worked out pretty good. I'm not suggesting that you do that, because I won't say it's the wrong way, but but if you try it like this and it works for you, hey, then that's your method. And when I did realize that I didn't have the parchment paper, and I was like, ooh, I better take a while and do this to make sure that it, because I didn't know what to expect, didn't know what was going to happen. But yeah, I worked with it and worked with it and worked with it. Okay, and see, as you can see, everything came out fine. I didn't have any bubbles and any wrinkles, and I didn't burn it. So yeah, and I didn't have, I'm going to take 2 of those wooden cubes from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to hot glue them to the back of the cowl so it can be elevated, like a 3D look to the sign. And I'm just using some hot glue to hot glue the cubes to the cowl, and then I'm going to use the hot glue to hot glue the cubes to the sign. And right here, I'm just taking my bows and I'm going to hot glue them to the top of the sign. And I think this bow came out beautiful. I mean, I had to patch it together and glue it together, but it came out beautifully. And I'm going to take that one sunflower and cut it off of the stem, and I'll hot glue that into the middle of the bow. And I think overall, this sign came out absolutely beautiful. I really, really like this one, and I hope you like it as much as I do. Leave me a comment, guys. You guys are not commenting. leave me a comment so I can respond to your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you would have done that, or you can even let me know what I need to do to improve on my bow making. If you're a bow maker, I mean, tell me something. Give me some feedback. Let me know something. And there it is. And I did decide to move the cowl down a little bit and cut my tails on my bow down because I felt like they were too long. And that's what I'm showing you here. Okay, DIY number 4. I don't know how this guy got up in here, but he's in here. Okay, you need some Mod Podge and some more of those wooden cubes from Dollar Tree. And I have a sheet of scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby. And I have a sign from Dollar Tree that I've already painted. And some Waverly Antique Wax. So the first thing I did was I wanted to paint around the sign, the frame around the sign. So I'm going to take the antique wax and paint around the frame. And I'm only going to give it one coat of the antique wax. And I didn't paint the center of it because I'll be putting the scrapbook paper in the middle. And the reason why I painted just around the edges on the inside is because I measured my scrapbook paper and I still cut it a little bit short. So in order for it to all blend in on the edges, I just, painted it with the antique wax so it can all blend in. And I'm going to adhere the paper to the sign with using the Mod Podge. And I'll also be Mod Podging the whole entire sign. And I hadn't planned on distressing this piece at all, but in the process of me holding the sign up and putting the Mod Podge, the antique wax wasn't completely dry, so it was like sticking to my fingers, and it left like these distressing marks on it, and I liked it. I really, really liked it, so that was a happy mistake, and I was so happy that happened. I mean, I really like it. I'm showing you here where it's sticking to my finger and it's lifting up and it's leaving this beautiful distressing look to the wood. Okay, now what I did with this cube was I put the antique wax on the cubes and I glued 2 together, and I'll put 2 in each corner of the sign because yes, it's a riser, so that's what I did. I added some feet to the sign to make it a riser, a little small riser or a tray. And I think this came out so cute, y'all. I love that distressing that I didn't intend to do, but yeah, I love it. Okay, guys, don't forget to go over to Melinda's channel and show her some love. And the link to her channel is down below in the description box. And I'm pretty sure whatever she has created for you today, you are going to absolutely love it. Okay, DIY number 5. Here are the supplies that you need. Some gift wrapping paper, some Mod Podge, and I have 4 white beads that I got from Dollar Tree. And everything you see here, all of this came from Dollar Tree. I have a square piece of wood block from Dollar Tree, and there's the parchment paper again. So we're going to do the same exact steps. We're going to put our Mod Podge on, a coat of it, and we're going to let it completely dry. Come back with our tissue paper and our parchment paper and our heating iron. Reactivate the Mod Podge and file down the excess off the edges. Yeah, I didn't forget the parchment paper this time. And y'all, I gotta let y'all know, I had completely forgotten about this collaboration with Melinda, and she texted me and said, "Are you ready?" I was like, "Wow, no." And we were supposed to upload it yesterday, but I wasn't ready, and I said, "Well, give me another day, and I'll get it together, girl." So yeah, I got it together for you guys in a hurry. Yes, I did. Okay, guys, here's the final review. I want to take this time to thank all my subscribers. Thank you so much. I deeply appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks to all my new subscribers. And if you just stopped in today, hello and welcome. And don't forget, guys, if there's anything in this video that you like, give me a big thumbs up. And if you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. Consider becoming a part of my YouTube family. Don't forget the notification bell. Click down, hit all, and YouTube will notify you each and every time I upload a video. And don't forget to go over to Melinda's channel, and she's waiting for you, and you guys show her some love. And don't forget to tell her that I said hello. Bye-bye.